Hello, good people. Welcome back to the Hoto Zero channel. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. And to get a notification when we post, also hit that bell button. Today I have with me Big Edward.
Oh, please. The only thing big about me is my head.
All right. Big Ed, how was today?
It's been a long day and it's like 2 p.m. So it's not been a good day, just got out of setting up a whole new shop and the engineer in charge of setting things up charging me like an arm and 6 legs. It's not been funny. It's not been funny at all.
Wow. An arm and 6 legs. So I guess you need 4 extra legs.
I guess if you're offering, I'm taking.
So I was thinking of asking you today, what exactly is inspiring you to be a hustler instead of, conventionally looking for a job out there?
Honestly, I haven't really thought of some sort of elaborate or sophisticated reason. To be very honest with you, if you're looking for an answer as to what motivates me to do what I do, food, money, I need to eat, it's really not that, it's not strange. I have nothing to prove to no one. I owe no one, no sort of accomplishment or anything, but, I have a place I stay, I need to pay rent, I need to eat food, I need to hang out, stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically what drives me to do what I do. And as for why I don't typically go for conventional employment, I don't know. It's never been my cup of tea. I've tried a few office jobs, tried to do the 9 to 5. And I don't know, it's never really been my cup of tea. It's always felt, for the lack of a better word, it's always felt like a rat race to me.
Interesting. A rat race.
Yeah.
That is what most people say about. That's what most people say about getting a 9 to 5 job.
I mean,
well, is that necessarily the case?
Well, if you really want to look at it, yeah, because people look at it like, okay, 9 to 5, you're spending your entire day at work, but people like me who have several businesses going on, there's no off days for me. I'm working Saturdays through Saturday. I'm working Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, every day. It's a Monday, it's a holiday today, and I'm still working. I'm getting calls at 11 p.m., 2 a.m. I'm still working. But I'm working for me. At the end of the day, it's I don't have to feel like, okay, I'm attending to someone else's needs, or I'm listening to some sort of big man, or
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
so, I'm a big man.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, sure. I'm my own big man. I take on the brunt of my risk and my rewards at the same time. So I feel like that's what really drives me to do what I do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just a follow-up question. You have tried the hire before, you've gotten a job, you said it didn't really work out.
Yes.
And now you're managing several businesses.
Yes.
Can you give us a major pro and con on both ends? Say, for example, when you were a hire, what was the major pro? What advantage did you see as a hire? And what was the major con? Like, okay, this is what I really hated about my job or working for an individual. And now, as an entrepreneur, what is the best part of, owning your own businesses? You already mentioned that it is not easy.
Yeah, of course.
It's actually more time tasking than a conventional 9 to 5.
Most definitely.
Definitely. So is that the major con on owning your own business? And also, what is the major pro? What is the most advantage of owning your own business?
Well, I feel like when it comes to either one of the options, my experiences are not standards. I always say that when it comes to very, very different facets of life, my experiences with employment and my experiences with owning a business is not standard at all. There are people who are doing 9 to 5 that absolutely love their jobs. And obviously, I'm not going to fault you for that. Yeah, you love what you do, you get handsomely paid for it. Of course, you do what you do, And at the same time, there are people who are self-employed, and they absolutely hate it. I have dabbled in various fields when it comes to business development, and I can say for certain that it's not all been good. It's really not all been good, As for a major pro for employment during my time while I was hired, I would go with consistency. There's a consistent salary. At the end of the month, you're earning a certain amount of money, and
Yes,
you can know that at the end of January, I'm earning this much. At the end of February, I'm earning that same amount of money. But with owning a business, it's very, very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Very, very inconsistent. You can go from 2.4 to 2.4 in the same month, and it's quite unfortunate, especially when the business is just starting, and depending on the scale, of course, you have to let the business take care of itself at some point. At some point, you have to take care of the business. Then, by the time the business is able to run itself, you know that okay, you can pull back your own personal input, your own personal income when it comes to finances. The business is able to take care of itself.
Yeah.
As for a major con for employment, honestly, at the same time, it's sort of the consistency. It doesn't change. It doesn't change.
That's fair. Yeah,
it doesn't change. For example, you're at a job that you earn 100,000 a month. That 100,000 is always going to be 100,000. The 100,000 is going to be 100,000. The 100,000 is never going to be 105. It's never going to be 110. And by the time you take into certain things into account, especially the cost of transportation these days, there are very, very, very few jobs right now that can afford you good transportation, good feeding, a good place to stay, and a good social life. There are very, very, very few jobs right now, especially in the country.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But if you stay long enough in a job, there's a very high chance that your salary is going to be increased. There are options like that. Say, after 6 months, your employer might say, "Oh, you've been working really well. I want to increase your salary by 20% or 30%." So that happens.
That's a bit optimistic, don't you think? Like, what kind of jobs?
I mean, does that happen? I truly believe that happens. Even in government job, you are not stuck as earning a particular salary for the entire employment years.
Well, most definitely, it's not. There are obviously promotions, right?
Yeah, so there are promotions.
Promotion after how long? Promotions after how long? Again, going back to my previous
statement, it takes a long time for you to get improvements.
Exactly. It takes a longer time for you to see any sort of noticeable upgrade. Your life becomes it becomes stale. It becomes rigid. You fall into this sort of routine, and
everything is just the same.
Everything is the same over and over and over and over again, and to me, it became maddening. As much as the time I have invested into various businesses, it's more than the time of an average 9 to 5.
Yeah,
of course. At least there's always something different. There's always something different. There's always a different challenge. There's always a different reward.
It's not boring.
It's not boring. Yeah, exactly. It's not boring. Like,
it might be difficult, but it's not boring.
maybe that's just exactly
that's good.
It might be difficult, but it's not boring. Back when I was employed, the office routine, you see it all the time in movies, you see it all the time in shows, and they are not exaggerating. Really, they are not. You wake up by 4, you start getting ready. If you have time for breakfast, you get something to eat. Then you get into traffic, and it's another thing. You go to the office, you do the whole thing. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. And I'm not opposed to the whole hard work or anything like that, of course, but it's too rigid. It's too rigid for me, honestly. So that's honestly my personal take on the whole thing.
Yes, I agree with you. And when we're talking about the entrepreneurship aspects, what are the pros and cons there?
Well, like I said, the cons is it's not very consistent. It's not very consistent. you can plan. There are certain trajectories that your businesses can take, and
Yeah.
you can plan for certain things, but you can also not plan for, unexpected expenditures, accidents. There are certain things that happens or cause that you can't really plan for. And, I haven't, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself, very intellectually sound or anything like that. I would consider myself to be very lucky. I take opportunities when they present themselves, you know. For example, let me the recent one I'm trying to establish now, it's just something small, just a small tailoring shop. Yeah, and to be very frank, I know nothing about tailoring,
Yeah.
but I've been able so far to meet the right people. People have been able to put me through, and the cost that I thought that the business would take,
Yes.
yeah, it has it has cost a lot more than that,
Yeah.
So when I start thinking of my potential returns,
Yeah.
I can plan a certain trajectory. I can be like, okay, I can expect a return on this business in about a year, maybe 15 months,
Okay.
But at the same time, it's not set in stone. It's not set in
Yeah.
stone. My tailors can disappoint, machines can go faulty,
Yeah.
electrical concerns and whatnot,
Yeah.
But a major pro about the whole thing is there's a feeling of accomplishment that comes with it, and it might sound foreign or very sappy to some people, but really there is. For the past about 6-7 years now, I have tried and established more than a handful of businesses that have brought me, if not as much income as I expected, but significant enough, right?
Yeah.
And every single time there's a feeling of accomplishment of just seeing something that is yours, especially if it's your first time. You start something small, you start an online business, you start a little shop, you're selling something, you're marketing something. It's just something you see and it's tangible, and yes, this is mine. This is it's like a baby.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that it's like a baby.
It's like your own baby.
There's
this sense of accomplishment that comes with.
Yeah, that's
like this is yours.
You created something.
Yeah, exactly.
I created this, and now it is bringing something out.
Exactly. I remember when I was younger, like way younger. Yeah. I made my first 1,000 naira. I made my first 1,000 naira. Well, actually, I made 100 naira, but okay, it was back in the day. Yeah, they were selling this pack of Pepsi. They were selling a pack of Pepsi at that time for about 900 naira. Yeah. So I had sold everything at the time, and it was 1,000 naira, and I spent 900 naira obviously to get the pack of Pepsi, and I made 1,000, and I was. Wow, this is a little kid, right? Like, wow, I have 1,000. Like, this is mine.
Wow.
Like, this is mine. Like, no one can take it from me. Like, yeah, obviously, I know now that I probably just made 100 naira, but like, I need 1,000. So, regardless of how many times you
900 to make 1,000, yeah, but you turn on a profit.
Of course,
that's
regardless of how many times I've done it, like there's always this sense of accomplishment. There's always a sense of pride that comes with it. And a few times that I've been employed, it's never been like that. It's always just been, okay, you're going to the office, you're pushing some documents, you're attending to someone's needs, this and that. And again, please, guys, if any one of you have a 9 to 5 and you love your job, this is not me telling you to quit your job. I promise you, it's way harder than I'm making it sound to establish a business.
Yeah.
It is extremely hard. And that's why sometimes I consider myself extremely lucky. I consider myself extremely favored that I've been given the opportunities to meet the people that I've met. They've been able to put me through certain aspects of life. And I really do appreciate them for it. I really do. So if any of you have a 9 to 5, please don't quit your job.
I mean, people that do have 9 to 5, I wouldn't necessarily say people that are starting their own businesses are better off. The people that do have 9 to 5 that feel, they've really, really done well at their job, and they've made an impact, not just in their organization, but in society as well.
Okay.
There are people like that.
Yeah, most definitely.
And they're very, very happy. They've gotten to the highest, hierarchy in their organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have almost as equal sense of accomplishment as somebody that started his own job.
Yeah,
if not even more.
Most definitely. I said it before. Like, my experiences are not standard. You know, just because I had a terrible experience when it comes to a 9 to 5 doesn't mean, everyone has.
Yes, that's true.
And just because, again, I've had favorable experiences when it comes to starting business, it doesn't mean everyone will.
Yes.
I have failed multiple businesses.
Yeah, of course. Everybody's failed at one point or the other.
So it's not been a smooth ride, but I thank God for where I am right now. I know I can confidently say that regardless of whatever happens tomorrow, I'm able to put food on the table. I'm able to have a roof over my head. I'm able to have clothes on my back, and
that's just a dream, right?
That's really what life is about.
Yeah.
That's really, truly what life is about.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, considering the fact that you have an experience from both worlds, you've been a hire and you've been a hustler.
Yeah.
There are people out there that, they've been or currently are working a 9 to 5,
yeah,
and they're not comfortable. They feel that their pay isn't enough.
Okay.
They feel that the work is too tough on them. They feel that if they are to start something, they will definitely succeed. But to take that leap is quite difficult because it actually is, like you mentioned, one of the pros of being a hire is you get your salary.
Yeah.
Even though it might be delayed and, a lot of blah, blah, blah. But you're sure that you're going to get a certain amount at a particular time frame.
Yeah.
For a particular time frame. Now, but these people are no longer satisfied and they want to, transition to, starting their own business.
Okay.
Can you remember, any feelings that you had like that when you were transitioning? If you did, how did you overcome it? And, now full-time a hustler, you have a lot of businesses. How did you transition?
Well, for me, it wasn't really a transition, honestly, because I just shared my experience when I was a little kid and I started with business, I started with business and I grew up in a family where, you have the typical dad goes to work, comes back late at night, and I always admired him for it. It always seemed like hard work,
Yeah.
But my first experience with income was business. So there wasn't really any sort of leap of faith or anything like that, But if there are people out there who are no longer satisfied with their 9 to 5, I would say try it. Like, what you might fail, or you might also succeed. You never know. There are means or there are various ways of trying out a business without necessarily quitting your 9 to 5.
Yes, of course.
There are weekends, there's 6 to 12. Yeah, there is. There's 6 to 12. 9 to 5 is not the end of the day.
Yeah, that's
not the end of the day. It's 6 to 12. Try side hustles. Learn new skills. If you want to go into fashion designing, web design, wherever it is, there are means of learning skills. And you might say, "Oh, I don't have the money for like expensive tutors and classes." Go on YouTube. You're on YouTube right now. After this video, go check out a tutorial or some shit. Like it's really that easy.
Yeah,
it really is that easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a major misconception that most people have about, starting your own business or, being self-sufficient.
Yeah.
I prefer the word self-sufficient. And I've come across this multiple times. And this misconception is starting your own entrepreneurship, right? And just, start any money from it. I think most people have that kind of reasoning. I want to start doing this and I want to start earning money from it in 2 weeks or in 1 month.
Ooh.
Yeah. When I tell people I'm self-sufficient, they say, "Oh, what do you do?" And then I tell them, "Oh, I do this."
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, wow, that's nice. I earn like this." I say, "Yes." And they're really, really impressed. And they're like, "Oh, I should, give them 1 or 2 pointers."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, sure, of course." I give them my contacts. They reach out to me eventually. And when we get like when we get into like a deep conversation, they hear a sentence. I say, "Oh, you probably have to learn the skill for 3 to 6 months, and you probably need to work on it for a couple more months before you start earning money." If you're lucky, at the 6th month or at the 3rd to 6 months, depending on how fast the learner you are, you can start earning. And once they hear that, they are discouraged. 6 months. I could just learn this thing like 6 months before I can start earning money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just get discouraged, and they don't proceed any longer.
That's the very unfortunate thing about it all. Time is the most determining factor when it comes to anything in life.
Yeah.
You have to give anything worth doing has to be given time.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be like, okay, I want to earn money from this, I want to really do this. You have to put time into it.
Yes,
It's not something again, there are probably businesses out there where you can do and start seeing profits in a month, maybe two. But
yes, definitely,
in my experience, it takes time.
Yeah,
it takes time. It takes effort.
And
unfortunately, it also takes money.
Yeah.
You need money to start businesses. Yeah, you can start very small.
Yeah.
You can start very small, but 5,000 is money. 3,000 is money. The 3,000 you use it to buy data. You start on online marketing. It boils down to basic things, and it comes down to sacrifices at the end of the day. Are you willing to sacrifice your time? Are you willing to sacrifice your money? Are you willing to sacrifice that effort? The time you would have spent watching a movie or, hanging out with friends, are you willing to sacrifice that one time for potential of, stability, of self-sufficiency, something like that. And by the time you give people that option, people tend to be short-sighted with the whole thing. I was placed in an opportunity, unfortunately, that I wasn't really given much of a choice. It was do this or don't survive, So I can't really say what option me personally, as if I was starting, what I would have taken if I would have been short-sighted as well. But like I said, I was given the option of you either do this, you either find a way to take care of yourself, or you're done, Yeah. So that's pretty much it. People are not willing to put in the time. People are not willing to put in the effort to do the things that needs to be done, and that's really unfortunate.
It's really
because people at times don't tend to see their potential.
Yeah.
They don't know what they are capable of. If you try,
if they don't try,
if they don't try, like what they don't really know what they're possible, what's possible for them.
Yeah. And I think that that's something that people really need to think about. When you want to do something, it doesn't really matter how long it takes. It doesn't really matter how much effort you have to put in.
Yeah.
You just have to just grind.
Yeah, that's it. And it's very unfortunate that it's something I really don't like talking like an old man, but it's something that the youth of our generation have forgotten sometimes,
That is what an old man would say.
That's exactly.
The youth of our generation.
The youth of this generation have forgotten what it means to work hard. Let me give you an example. The head baker the head chef at my bakery back in Lagos, I spoke with him. I was like, look, I'm going to put you on a salary, but what I want you to do, I want you to stick with this business. I want you to grow with this business, and as we grow, you're going to grow as well.
Of course.
Young guy as well. But it was just a couple months, maybe 2, 3, 4 months. He wanted to leave, it was like, this, that, and I'm like, hold, this business is growing. This business is going to develop. This business is going to turn into something very big. But he couldn't see the vision. And by God's grace, a year down the line now, the business is about a year old now.
Okay.
We're doing very well. We're doing very well. The bakery is self-sufficient. It's taking care of itself, and we're seeing good returns. It's gotten to the point where we are now the ones that are not able to meet up with demands. Our products are so popular, to the point where
that's great. That's great.
Exactly. That's good. And there's just this feeling of accomplishment and pride. And yes, there's so much more that we can achieve, but look at how far we've come, Look at how far we've come. We've come from, part-time bakers, struggling to do this, getting machines on credits, to fade out every sort of debt. The bakery is able to take care of itself, and we're able to see out profits and whatnot. So the young lad that left, before anything even got started, it's quite unfortunate. He calls me from time to time now, asks me how things are. I tell him things are fine. He went to what state did he even go to? Ogun or something. He's asking me if he can come. I'm like, we have someone here.
Yeah,
we have someone here. So I can't tell the person to leave all in the name of you left.
Yeah,
you left. You lost the opportunity to watch this business grow. I gave him the opportunity to become a partner.
Yeah,
because again, I can't bake. I really can't bake. I gave him the opportunity to become a partner. Like, I won't take you as a staff. Yeah, you become a partner in this business. Yeah, but he was too short-sighted. He was too short-sighted to see the potential of, what the business could be. And now the business has actualized what it can possibly be, and
Yeah.
he's thinking of coming back.
Yeah.
So you give things time. You give things time. You put in the effort, you put in the time for something to grow, and the actualized results.
Yeah, I actually have a similar experience to this. I was working on an online business for a couple of years. And, the first year I'm putting in money, I'm putting in time, nothing is coming out. And the second year I'm putting in money, I'm putting in time, nothing is coming out. And then on a particular month, close to the end of the year, I think it was November, I can't remember exactly, a very tiny token came out. I mean, it wasn't up to what I put in.
Yeah.
But
something came out.
And I was so happy.
Wow.
I was so overjoyed. I did not even remember all the money that I had spent. All I remember was something came out. Yeah. And that was the first one. And then over time, it kept going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And before you know, all the money that I had spent, I wasn't even, thinking about it anymore. It had already recovered everything and even more.
Because that's it, honestly.
So that's great, yeah. Things take time. Things take time. You don't rush things. Good things take time, they say.
Yeah. You really don't rush things, similar experiences with every business owner, you put in your time, you put in the efforts, and it's not bringing up fruit, and you feel like quitting, and you honestly, it's hard sometimes. We've tried poultry, I had about 100 birds at the time. More than half of them died.
Yeah,
that happens. That's not a very encouraging thing to happen.
Yeah.
That's not a very encouraging thing to happen. But you keep on trying. You keep on putting effort.
You learn.
Yeah, you learn from experiences. You meet people that put you through.
Yeah.
And eventually, when that, like you said, that little token comes out.
Yeah.
Yes, in the long run, you've not made your money back.
Yeah.
But when that little something comes out, you're like, yes,
yeah.
Vindication. Like, yes, my efforts were not in vain.
Something. I'm seeing results.
Exactly. Finally, seeing results. It's the same with every part of life. It's the same. But in school, in physical activities, in work, at the gym, everywhere. Yeah. It's the same thing. You see that little result, like, yes, it finally makes it all worth it. You study hard, you get good grades, it makes it better. It puts your work it's not in vain,
So, and I think this works both ways, whether you are working in 9 to 5 or whether you're doing your own business, you also have to make sure that you're consistent in what you believe in. You believe in what you're doing, you have to be consistent in it.
Yeah.
Don't be so quick to give up because you're not seeing results. It may take time, but at the end of the day, trust me, something's definitely going to come out of whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah. So, thanks so much, Edwards.
Oh man, it's no problem.
I enjoyed our conversation.
I really did as well. I really did as well. It was fun talking to you, man.
Yeah. So, just a conclusion for our viewers out there. It doesn't matter whichever it is you're doing and what it is you want to do. If you want to transition from wherever it is you are, you can make it. All you have to do is be strong, be consistent. Consistency is really important, and put in your best. Don't give up. You'll make it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Thank you very much, Edward, for gracing us with your presence.
Of course, man.
Also enjoyed our conversation.
Cool.
I hope to see you guys on our next video. Like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe because we're going to be having more fun interactions like this. Ciao.
Bye, guys.